What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the answer that was given for why God of War is going to be leaving the Norse mythology so soon. Now, that is an extremely long title, but basically what we have here is a new interview with the main men of Sony Santa Monica, talking actually with I believe, a God of War YouTuber, which I think is, by the way, incredible and awesome for even the YouTube community, further proving that hopefully over time we're going to have so much more credibility over journalists that, people like us are going to be the ones talking to them and not necessarily the IGN Kotakus of the world. But beyond that, not to get too gaming political for you, basically the number one thing that came out of that interview was talking about why are you leaving Norse mythology so soon. Now, I already did a video on this that I haven't put up yet, so I have it recorded, and I'm probably going to put it up tomorrow or Saturday, where I'll talk about, my own opinions, and I recorded it before all this stuff happened, right? But for this, I want to go over, their answers, and their answer is pretty much they don't want people to wait too long for a trilogy. That's their answer. And I believe they even used the exact number, like 15 years. Now, maybe that was an exaggeration. Maybe that was a hyperbole, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like that answer whatsoever. And as you'll see, even with the, if you guys stick around the channel, you watch the video where I talk about it, again, kind of removed from this, I'm not against them doing it. They do whatever they want to do. I guess I'm not violently against them doing it. I don't prefer it. I think it's weird. I think having it being the Norse mythology in 2 games is odd. You don't really get to see, I don't know, I feel like they're going to be forcing too much into this game. It really, I guess, paints itself as a lot of negatives, which is odd because I do love God of War to death. They really haven't given us any reasons to doubt them, so maybe I am being, and I understand that, so maybe I am being too harsh, but I would just prefer 3 games. You have enough time to tell your story. You have enough time for it to kind of linger and figure out. Now, I still think, and I say this in that video, I still think Atreus is going to be the main character of 3. He'll be older. This game is very much the passing of the torch game that, we kind of either thought this game was going to be or the 3rd game, right, where Kratos dies and it kind of moves on to him. Even though I don't want necessarily Kratos to die, that seems to be the plan. And maybe they'll just do it in a new mythology. But, well, I don't know, I guess 2 main issues with it. When they say, it's too long and they don't want people waiting 15 years, it'd be 8 years. In fact, if the game comes out next year, at any point of next year, it'll have come out 4 to 4.5 years after the original, I guess not the original, but 2018's God of War, okay? So you do that again, and you're at 9 years. That's it. You know what I mean? Unless it takes them 6 or 7 years, and even that does not get you to 15. I don't know if the math is wrong because yes, there's 3 games, but there's only 2 time spans in between. It's math. I don't know if there was a miscommunication there, but I don't like that. I also think back to really some other just trilogies in games. Yes, I guess 10 years would be on the higher side of length of these games. I think to Mass Effect I would say is a bad example for what I'm trying to prove, right? Because I believe that happened within 4 years. They got 3 games out, but or actually it was 5. It was 5 years they got 3 games out, but 3 was rushed like we've never seen before. Witcher is a good one. Witcher I believe was 8 years between Witcher 1 was 2007, Witcher 3 was 2015. Even if you look at Uncharted, that was 2007 to also 2016. So that was actually 9 years. Now, that was 4 games. It wasn't 3 games, but it was telling the journey of Nathan Drake. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I feel like my basic point is people will wait. You know what I mean? We've gotten games that stretch Bioshock 1 to Infinite, I believe, was also 2007 to 2013. So that was only 6 years, but so yes, you look at some of the trilogies in gaming, and I guess, again, Uncharted, I kind of cheated because I had, the full thing, but it's the full story of what they were trying to do in that moment, right? I mean, people are willing to wait. Yes, they are more 5, 6, 7 years, and this would be more 8 or 9, so it definitely would be some of the, again, on the higher side of time spans, but I mean, is that really the only reason why you're doing this? It doesn't seem like right. It doesn't seem like that's a good answer, at least to me. I don't know. I definitely am saying the same thing over and over, so I don't want to keep going on it and bore you guys. It's just, I don't know. I did not expect that to be the answer, because ultimately, like, well, actually, here's the thing. Ultimately, if, like, I don't even know what this next God of War game is going to be. What's very interesting now, which I didn't think we'd have to talk about now when Ragnarok comes out, is like, well, what does the future hold for God of War? Now, they could still absolutely set up a third game in the second game, and we won't really have those questions, but we have them right now, and I really didn't think we would have them right now, because I thought this would be like that middle game to get us to the third game. They could, again, like I said, they could very easily just set up, you play as Atreus, he's grown up, he has, the knowledge of his father, kind of passed in him, and even now, with all the stuff we know, he's in a new mythology. And it's kind of like the first game of a new set of games, but also the last game of the current set, which is weird. You know what I mean? That's also a very weird thing. So by them doing 2 games, and by them, like, saying, I guess mainly the excuse, right, that it's too long. Well, like, is your next game not going to have either of these 2 characters? Like, you're not going to have Atreus for your third game, or, again, first of a new one? Because if that's the case, or I guess if you are doing it, what's the difference? You just don't want to do Norse mythology 3 times in a row in an 8-year span. You want to do it for 2, and then you want to do something. It's very, very weird, and I don't like the answer, and I don't really think it's a good answer. Let me make this clear. If you guys made it this far, I do want to thank you, A. And B, I'm not a hater. I don't hate everything in my life. I don't hate God of War. I got to, like, go through, because people are always just going to assume, because it is the internet, that because I have a problem with something, or I have a problem with this, which is just me speaking my opinion, and you guys can disagree, and that's totally cool, but people are going to assume that this obviously means I'm a Sony hater, even though I'm also called a Sony fanboy in most of my videos, so that's kind of odd, and also that I just hate everything around me, including all games, which I guess if you want to believe that, that is factually true. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. If you want to support us on other places, I do have a Twitter, I do have a second YouTube channel, and we also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Links for all of them are in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.